Unfortunately for Kimbo Slice, things took a turn for the worse when he was diagnosed with heart failure and needed a heart transplant ASAP. On June 6th of 2016, at 42 years old, Kimbo Slice would suffer his ultimate demise. He passed away after suffering from traumatic heart failure. But let's take it back to the beginning, where it all started for Kimbo Slice.
At one time I was homeless. At one time I had to live in my car. I was living in my car for a couple of months.
Kimbo Slice was born in 1974 in the Bahamas, but would later relocate to the United States as a young child. He would grow up in South Florida. Kimbo Slice eventually got a job as a
strip club bodyguard. You were a bodyguard for a company in Miami.
It wasn't until 2003 when Kimbo began his career in unsanctioned street fights. His first recorded fight would be against Big D. During the fight, Kimbo Slice made Big D quit. After the fight, Big D was left with a huge slice on his face, and this is one of the reasons why they call him Kimbo Slice. The video of the fight would go on to get millions of views, making Kimbo Slice an online viral sensation. After this fight, Kimbo Slice would go on to dominate in more street fights. In 2005, Kimbo started training mixed martial arts. Fast forward 2 years later, Kimbo would make his MMA debut.
Ready? Round number one, schedule for 3. Oh! He catches Ray with a shot. Ray, how about this? They're on the canvas, and Ray's on top now.
So in his guard, guillotine choke, tap out.
He won the fight by a guillotine choke in the first round. After securing his first professional win, Kimbo was full steam ahead, winning 3 fights in a row.
Ripping away a cantrell. Right across the jaw. The third one.
Right hand. Oh, and it's over.
Before taking his first professional loss.
The punches out.
Slice in trouble. Oh my goodness. Slice gets pounded out, and they stop it.
Even though Kimbo Slice lost, he was still one of the most popular MMA fighters at the time, and he eventually got the attention of Dana White and the UFC. But Dana White initially didn't like the idea of signing Kimbo Slice. He thought he was just a street brawler who didn't possess any real mixed martial arts skill.
A street fighter, and actually in a street fight, he fought Sean Gannon and lost in one of those internet street fights. Sean Gannon came into the UFC and fought somebody that nobody's ever heard of or ever seen again, and he got hurt so bad he was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Kimbo Slice would get murdered in the UFC.
But Dana White ended up making a decision.
The only way this guy would ever get in the UFC is if he went through the Ultimate Fighter. We're going to find out if Kimbo's a mixed martial. I know he's a fighter. I know Kimbo's a fighter. The guy fights, he fights. You know, we've seen him fight in the streets. He's had professional mixed martial arts fights. Is he a mixed martial artist? We're gonna find out.
Dana said if Kimbo can compete in the UFC's tough reality TV show, he would have to win his way into the UFC. In his first fight in the show, Kimbo Slice was defeated by Roy Nelson via TKO stoppage in the second round.
I lost the fight, you know what I'm saying, by a TKO. But I just got to pick up and keep going, you know what I'm saying? The road doesn't end there for me, you know what I'm saying? It's a fight, it's a battle.
He would then turn down the opportunity to fight in the quarterfinals after it was revealed that he had arthritis in his knee.
Kimbo is saying that there's something wrong with his knee.
I don't want another loss on my belt, man, to be honest with you. I just can't stomach that, man. I can't stomach knowing I can't move like I want to move and do what I want to do.
I told everybody I respect him, that he took the challenge and came.
Decision. On May 8th, 2010, Kimbo Slice made his pay-per-view and official heavyweight debut at UFC 113. Unfortunately for Kimbo, he would lose the fight in the second round via TKO. Following the loss, Dana White stated it was probably Kimbo's last fight in the UFC.
Okay, just a couple more things before we let you go here. You said Kimbo Slice is done. Why?
You know, the Kimbo Slice is no different than any of the other guys that, you know, don't make the cut, you know, and end up getting cut from the UFC. I'm happy to have met Kimbo Slice. You know, he's not who I thought he was. He's a good guy. He came in, he worked hard.
His release was confirmed the following day. On January 16th, 2015, nearly 5 years after his last MMA fight, Bellator MMA announced that Kimbo Slice had just signed a new multi-fight deal. Kimbo's first fight would be against Ken Shamrock. Kimbo Slice won by first round TKO, and after not competing for 5 years, Kimbo needed that win, and he took it. On February 19, 2016, at Bellator 149, Kimbo Slice would face Dada 5000. The two had a rivalry between them due to their old street fight legacies they had in South Florida. In the first round, both fighters gassed out almost immediately.
And Kimbo looks gassed.
Quite frankly, it was an embarrassing performance from them both. Slice went on to win the uneventful fight via TKO when Dada collapsed from apparent exhaustion in the third round. His family and friends celebrated the victory, but it had a heavy effect on their collective thoughts about his future. His wife and mother had already been asking him to retire. 2 months later, in April of 2016, despite protests from his loved ones, Kimbo Slice agreed to fight against James Thompson at Bellator 158. Leading up to the fight, Kimbo was hospitalized, complaining of severe abdominal pain, shortness of breath, and nausea. He was later diagnosed with heart failure and needed a heart transplant. Kimbo's manager, Mike Ember, remembers Kimbo calling him and saying,
he was like, you know, they're telling me that I need a heart transplant.
They're telling me I need a heart transplant. You know, Mike, I'm scared. Is there something you can do? Can you talk to somebody about expediting the transplant? According to Mike, he made whatever phone calls he could. One of their business partners' father was in the medical world, so Mike started doing whatever he could to make arrangements. But this is a heart transplant we're talking about. You may get a heart in a few days or 6 months. It could even take a year. So this isn't something you can just expedite. About 3,500 people in the US are currently waiting for a heart, and many will die before a heart becomes available to them. Kimbo Slice died on June 6, 2016 from traumatic heart failure. He was only 42 years old. At the time of his death, efforts were underway to arrange a transport to a clinic in Cleveland where Kimbo Slice would have awaited a heart transplant. The sudden loss of life, the speed at which his condition turned critical, was a shock, but the medical issues surrounding his heart were not. Kimbo Slice suffered from high blood pressure for years and took medication for it. And at his home, his health had grown increasingly worrisome near the end. During one of Kimbo Slice's last conversations with his manager, Mike Ember, Kimbo Slice admitted he should have already retired. I fucking hate you, but you're right. You're right about it. My wife has been telling me the same thing. My mom's been telling me the same thing. The entire fight community mourned the passing of the fan favorite Kevin Ferguson, or better known to the world as Kimbo Slice.